Athrun, you good to go? Monster, you good to go?
I'm good to go. Yep.
Okay, then let's do it at the count of 3. On 3. 1, 2, 3. Wiener.
Wiener.
Wiener. I'm excited today. I'm really excited for a Clark build. I'm stoked for a Clark build. Oh yeah.
I'm hoping. I don't know. I'm hoping to see Clark redeem himself today.
Clark is one of my faves. You know what's funny? Is Clark has some of the highest Magic's rating in the game. And so I'm just a little surprised that nobody has built him, putting Smite on tier 1, putting a Lightning and Sparkler in his hand, and building him for damage. I feel like, especially given that people right now are kind of riding tier 1s, he's got the highest single damage punch in the game, effectively.
Well, you talked about his refractory.
Ralph might be, I'm not sure. Go on.
I think the refractory on Smite is prohibitive for some people, at least in theory, and so they don't bother.
I guess also his secondary, given the nature of the builds that we're seeing, well, but he also can cure. So you'd be sacrificing the Gift and Fresh Mountain Air build. Maybe you get rid of Groover and you put in... But you don't need 4 damage dealers, so maybe I'm overthinking this. You don't need 4 damage dealers when you can get away with 3, because, you know, it's you're busy anyway, right?
Yeah, I mean, it's... Yeah. I think it was you who said there was basically a 3-man rotation for most of the strategies.
Mm-hmm.
So, if two people are keeping up constant damage and a third is gifting, which is usually Groover, and then the other one is just kind of a dummy, or an emergency healer, I think. Yeah, I mean, there's no need to...
Ideally, I think, if you've got your Refresh or Haste going, you only need 2 DPS, and the other 2 are in kind of a support role, or ideally, like a buffing role to those damage dealers.
Yeah.
So, we're going to take a closer look at these guys in just a sec, but while I get that ready, just want to remind everyone that if you want to see these guys on their direct feeds, Athrun or Monster, you can check that out at these links here in the chat. Definitely give them a follow, give them a hug, give them all your energy.
The robot.
Your ENRG.
Mr. X.
Athrun just took the lead. It's very early to call it, but at least I see it. He's slightly ahead.
See you guys.
Don't literally call it, I'll give you that, yeah.
Well, I know, but typically, though, the lead is established in the first few songs and it only grows. There haven't been too many cases where it flip-flops mid-match.
It's been a while. As these strats get tighter and tighter, I think we're going to see a crazy final that flip-flops a lot.
I agree. Regardless of who makes it through today, Path for Damage is just super fierce competitor. I think whoever it is that takes him down, if anyone, is going to have to... I don't know. I can't imagine it won't be neck and neck. They're going to have to do whatever build Pal has. So if Pal has some secret build that no one knows about, and one of these guys comes up against him with the exact build he had the other day, maybe he's got the advantage. But as far as Pal can be trusted, he said, the build we saw on Thursday is the build that we're going to see in the final for him.
Yep. I think Monster... Alright, let's take a closer look at Monster's build, because I'm really excited for the Clark build. Beyond that, I wish he had the level manip a little more. Since we are greenlighting that for the tournament, I think that's going to really be a big difference. I think as much as strategy and gameplay, that level manipulation is going to make a really big difference over the course of this run. But
he has pretty significant manipulation, Monster.
A lot less, but yes. But let's take a look at Monster. So the first thing I'm seeing is the introduction of Clark. It does minimize Groover's... Well... Okay, I'm going to think about this. I was going to say it minimizes the value of Groover's gifting and Mountain Air a little bit, in that Clark is going to be regenning instead of, I was going to say shining, but that's still a cure, so it doesn't minimize anything in that sense. It's absolutely the same. The only real difference is that instead of bashing, he's got a comeback mechanism. So maybe it's the same. Actually, now that I think about it, regen, correct me if I'm wrong, regen's going to cure for a little bit more than shine would.
Absolutely.
Yes, he doesn't have bash, but his cure is somewhat stronger. That instead of bashing every turn to keep a continuous stun, as I see it, he can instead sacrifice just a turn now and then and top off with a cure. This might be an improvement.
Regen is vastly superior to Shine, actually, by design. Shine was not meant to ever compete with Regen.
If I take it a step further, I might do Inoculate instead of Regen and bring Ralph, so he's powering up that Inoculate. And that brings me back wrap all the way around to my original conception of what I thought the best build was going to be. Is instead of Wade, bring Ralph. Instead of Gwen bring Clark with Inoculate. Man, okay, yeah. So much theory.
Why don't we talk about the fact that he's going to have to be healing more often, as we're seeing early on? Like
That's true, but he's never.
Quite low.
But the alternate build is bashing every turn. So he's going to cure every 3 or 4 turns, whereas Gwen would ordinarily bash every turn. It's actually a better trade here. He's saving more time curing less often than the bash.
Well, if you're keeping an eye on Monster though at the moment, you'll see that his health is around 30%.
Sure, but he hasn't cured in 4 turns, and when he does, it'll be a big drop. Except that Clark's underleveled.
Right, so that's what I'm waiting to see, because he's gone. You mentioned his level manipulation wasn't as strong as Atherin's, but I feel like it's quite strong. Clark is level 37, Groover is level 39.
Oh, he's riding low HP on purpose for saving throw.
Right, and the other 2 characters are level 49. So Monster we've seen be a little bit aggressive in the past, and
ooh, he's still choosing not to cure.
The matches are all running together, but I think Monster may have. No, he never died. He never died in a previous match, but we've seen him super low health before, and we were very worried. You know what though? He did actually.
Monster! What is Monster doing?
He died in round 1.
No, Monster.
He's got the Necronomicon on Clark.
Oh, he's got the okay.
So he was trying to die right at the end to get that little boost of health.
Oh, he's got the. I was just like, what is he doing? This is suicide.
Well, it is kind of now because he didn't get that last minute boost.
It'll still do what it would have done. I get it. Okay. My pants are less pooped than they were. He's still not curing. He has to cure now, right? One imagines.
Well, there goes the Thong proc.
There's the Thong proc. That's
so
not a
he
huge
doesn't
cure
now. It's over.
Oh God! I just realized he's not built for cures. Really, he's not wearing magic gear. He's not wearing cure potency gear. He's wearing what? Shades, which minimize blindness, right? He's wearing the window wafer shades, was it?
Yeah, it was not the tentacle shades. So
and he's shades. Wearing streak-based focus. Is that right?
No, he's wearing the Metronomicon.
On Clark, okay. What's focusing Clark?
What is focusing Clark? Groover in some way?
No.
Well,
no, it's gotta be gear. It's gear.
It's not the shades or the thong. Then unless the shades he has on.
Well, yeah, it's focus gear one way or another.
Not on Clark.
Low HP focus.
Oh, is that what the shades are?
Yep.
Okay. We have 3 sets of sunglasses in the game, apparently.
And some flavor text mocking it.
Okay. Alright, well, Monster wanted to give us a good show there. I guess he's got his health under control for the moment.
Yeah.
Wouldn't switch over to Atherin for too long. I want to go back to my research
let's
just
take a look at Atherin for a sec.
Because I do think that Monster died in the first round, but he outlasts his opponent.
I don't know offhand. It'd be cool to have splits from the fastest run of the tournament. I agree, Untius. I should have done that. Right now I'm using Snaz to put the time on the screen, and in past tournaments I have done exactly that. I've used XSplit, and yeah, just DJ Testing. What's up? What's starting so early? It doesn't matter because you're in EST. We're so early for Monster. Monster is not on US time zones, and so since he is raging through the tournament, we have to be respectful of his time.
So the match today was originally scheduled for 1 p.m. Pacific, but actually Atherin even wanted it to go sooner because he had some stuff to do later in the day. Yeah. So it's both of them. Both of them wanted to be early.
Did you guys know that Arizona doesn't do daylight savings? That's crazy.
I did know that, but I failed to factor it in.
Atherin is on the first boss. He is about 1/5 of a song ahead. Not a big gap. I'm excited about the Clark build. I really think that I think there's optimization to be made, but I think it might be. I have thought from the beginning that it would be the build, and I've been wrong, and I could still be wrong, but I'm excited for it. So we haven't taken a closer look at Atherin yet. Let's take a look and see what his strategy is in general. So it looks very similar to the build we've been seeing. Well, no, come to look at it, it doesn't. It looks like the more recent build, right? He doesn't have Gwen. He's got Sarah instead. So he's not proccing passive cures, he's using cures now and then, which is the same idea that Monster is using, really. Instead of taking their passive cures, he's taking passive damage and curing when he needs it. I think that's the right trade. I think.
Thank you for the host, everybody, too. Thank you, everyone, for the host.
I still want to see Groover, Fresh Mountain Air, Gift, Clark with Inoculate, and Ralph in the mix. So, taking a look. Atherin is, it seems, well, okay, no, though. I was going to say, he's riding the kind of top rail strategy, but he is buffing now and then as needed.
Just want to correct myself really quickly. I just went back and checked the old VODs. Monster has never died in any round. He just gets super low health like this, and then I freak out the entire time.
Galker, thinking about that same build yourself. Yeah, my theory was always that the optimal build would be Gift, Fresh Mountain Air, Ralph doing high DPS and covering your party in debuffs that Inoculate with the longer syringe on Clark takes advantage of. So it's a much better cure than Gwen's passive Shine, to the point where you probably don't need to spend all those turns bashing, and that just saves you having to do that. It just outright saves you turn. If you need to, you've got a strong cure on Clark. Ha! Indy Davo, when you were at BlizzCon, you visited our favorite bartender from the random hotel. That's hilarious. So when we were at Minecon showing the Metronomicon, only a couple months ago, we ended up stopping for a drink at this random hotel. That was like, the reason we went in was they had this weird little upstairs kind of living room set up, and it was just kitschy and cute, and I was like, let's go in there, and we ended up getting a drink and chatting with like a guy who had brought his daughter to Minecon, and it was just fun and laid back. And then for no particular reason, the next night we went back in there because we liked the bartender. So I love it. Dave went and visited him again. Dave, what BlizzCon swag did you get? I want to hear it. What swag?
Monster is at 5% health.
Yeah. I always forget about the thong. I don't use it personally, so I always forget about it. But it's, I should be using it for the stuff I'm building right now. In fact, that would make a world of difference. It was really sweet. BlizzCon 25-year beer stein? That's awesome. That's really cool. Alright. So these guys are still only about a third of a song apart. So what would be my fourth, my preferred? So okay, so since we're still late in the tournament, all we have left is the finals. I'm going to theory craft mine. So the build I've always had in mind is Groover with the Fresh Mountain Air and the pumps, pumping out Fresh Mountain Air, pumping out Gift, powering up Ralph's Consume, I would put on, powering up Clark's Inoculate, and Inoculate with the longer syringe and with the Dazzle Wand would mean that he's just pumping out cures passively, and you probably don't have to visit him that often. Additionally, I'd bring Violet, and personally, I would not be riding the Tier 1 rail. I would be targeting weaknesses, but I haven't tried this with level manipulation. So if it's true that without the level manipulation, with the level manipulation, you don't need to hit the weaknesses, put that aside. But she's still one of the strongest damage dealers, her and Ralph. The fort slot, I would use Wade and pretty much just Inspire. But because I don't have a Refresh or a Haste in the mix, he would be also attacking as necessary. I would put Attack in the Tier 1 and Clobber in the secondary. Haven't done the math on it, haven't done the run on it. This is all theory craft, but that's what I feel like would be really powerful.
Well, we've seen actually in recent matches that indeed level manipulation does throw all of those kind of bells and whistles out the window. Like you don't have to pay attention to elemental weaknesses if you have your 2 damage dealers as your highest level.
Agreed, except I still think you get the savings of never having, like right now, the classic Gwen strategy is to bash all the time, and that's using 1 turn of Gwen for every rotation. I think with the Inoculate, Ralph, Longer Syringe, Dazzle Wand combination, you can probably just let that lane be passive. I think you can save a whole turn per rotation. And with Clark and Regen right now in Monster's build, he's doing something similar, but I think, I think if you, looking at his build, what would I trade?
You would probably swap out
I would do Wade. I would do Wade
or
for Ralph. I would do Wade for Ralph, and then I'd get even more curing, but I'd be losing Inspire, I suppose. I still think that that's probably worth it, given that Ralph has the higher DPS and that you're saving more turns.
But yeah,
I love that Monster is basically using the Metronomicon. He's using the Metronomicon as almost an offensive weapon. He's using it to power up his saving throw, and he's using it to save himself a ton of turns. And we haven't seen that in quite a while. Recently, people have not been using the Metronomicon. People have been thinking of it as like a safety/backup strat, right? It's like a marathon strat. But what we're seeing is Monster really use it aggressively. He's using the Metronomicon to save himself defensive turns, and therefore convert them to offensive turns, right?
The
So I love that.
Necronomicon. Yes, this is he's bringing back his strategy in a different form from his earliest match, because he was one of the first people to try to not exploit, but try to capitalize on saving throws. Bonus for the lowest possible health. So that is something that he's dabbled with before, but not with manipulating the levels.
Yep.
So he's trying to resurrect it today, and just making me so nervous. I haven't felt this nervous really since the first time we saw Monster play. Awine did something very similar, and it killed him.
Right.
And,
yeah, he rode.
That's what I was remembering.
Flew too close to the sun.
It's never gotten the best of Monster. He seems to be an expert at knowing exactly when he's going to die.
Yep. Galkaif, you could just attack all day with Ralph. Refresh. Refresh does not have a cooldown. Rather, I mean, it does. It's it takes as many beats as it takes, but you can minimize it with pumps or by gifting or Refresh Mountaineering. But no, you can refresh all day. I actually, in kind of a build I've been experimenting with this week on a new secret mode, I've been experimenting with using Focus just for its refresh properties. That may not make sense in the modes you guys have played, but it kind of does for what I've been tinkering with. Sacrificing one turn just to get another one. But yeah, you can do it just all day, refresh, and ride fewer turns. Ride fewer characters.
I love that Galkaif is with us again for the tournament. He's our champion from the first Wiener tournament for Weaponographist.
Reigning
He's
Wiener.
the fastest man in the world for Weaponographist.
By the way, that's something you never want to hear the weatherman say. Reigning Wiener.
I kind of want to hear it.
Well, that's a good thing I'm a weatherman. Alright guys, it's not such a big split that it's not anyone's game. I want to see from chat. I want to see favorites. Who you guys think is going to take it? I'm going to take it all. Every time I look at Monster, it makes me poop someone's pants.
At the moment, Athrend is ahead by about 15 seconds. It's really not that big of a lead.
Yeah, I know that it's not a lot, but there was definitely 2 or 3 more levels Monster could have squeezed out of level manipulation. I'm not positive, but I'm pretty sure. And darn, because I really want a Clark build to be. I just like Clark. I like the guy. Ha! DJ Testing, you says he wants to play the Metronomicon build on his DS. When do you expect that build? Ask Indy Davo. Do you think it's possible to make it so you can only have to use Ralph and Groover's track the entire run? Let's see, what would we have to do to do that? I mean, there's gear that gives you haste. Because you could cast haste, but I think you'd be better off trying to get it through gear. So let's say haste gear combined with there's an item that also speeds up your track recovery further that stacks with haste. So stack that on. Stack that with Sarah's refresh, and stack that with her focus. You'd have to cast on focus. So and then use. Obviously, because you're trying to stick to Ralph and Groover to power Sarah's refresh? Maybe. Not definitely, but maybe. Emberly says, Athrend will be the wiener. Taichi, Athrend! Taichini, I'm sorry.
I think whenever I try to just do 2 tracks and not expand to a third, I always do wind up with just a moment where there's nothing for me to do.
You do. I found the same thing. You drive for like
not
just
just
a
with
beat or
pace
two.
and focus, but also there are enemies who can occasionally stun and slow you. Just eventually you're going to need to go to a third track. So
yeah, but it's not as long as a full cast. So like waiting one beat or like 1 beat drive before you jump back in might be worth it.
I have a lot going on in the game.
Cool. He'll be old enough to buy it himself then. Well, first we have to do the Amiga port, the Neo Geo port, and what was that other one? The back of a turtle shell port. We rearranged the scales in real time to play out music. we are still in the
Monster's
same
actually
zone.
gaining slightly on Afghan.
He is, yeah.
It's only about a 7-second lead at this
Yeah.
point.
No, this is close. This is beautiful. And their builds are different, which is I love. We have still not found like the one end all be all, if there is one end all be all.
Well, if I had to be one or the other of these guys, I'd be Atherin, just because the Clark at low health strat, it just makes me really nervous. I'm nervous this whole time.
So I just thought of a thing. So Davo, and yeah, for those who don't know, Davo is the producer of the Metronomicon. David. Davo. So I went to a convention once. Well, a friend of mine was the one who did it, but I went to a convention and my friend had this like bodysuit and they strapped a TV to the guy's chest and he wandered around with like a sizzle reel playing. Would you allow your turtle to do that, to like march around with it on the shell, like, because he'd be so cute and everybody would want to play him? I wouldn't. Don't do that. But I think it's funny. Mascot turtle. A couple more programming notes while we roll through the song. This is Dave Moonshine. So yeah, if anybody is interested in helping me playtest a new and up-and-coming mode, I would be greatly appreciative of that. I'm going to be posting that build, well, today actually, but I'll let you guys know how to get it Monday. If you're interested in playtesting a brand new mode and you have an endgame save file, because it will require an endgame save file, definitely drop me a line with a Twitch message, or ideally, if we can get you on our Discord. We're going to have a channel dedicated to talking about playtesting notes for that new mode. Dave can probably hook you up with a link to our Discord if you just casually request it in chat. You want in on that? Galcave, let me send you a link to our Discord.
Guy's always going for 69. Just trying to win.
Danny, I'm gonna send Galcave a link.
Okay.
So I know how to do it permanently.
In the game.
So Dave's going to send you a link to our Metronomicon Discord that we've been coordinating this contest through. And yeah, there's a channel on there for new mode testing. And to be clear, it's not bug testing. There will probably be a few early on, but it's not bug testing so much as, like, I want your feedback. Are the rewards worth it? Are the, is it balanced, fun? Fatty pants. Monster alert! Oh, are we at like a song and a half gap now, actually? Hold on.
So Atherin just started on Clocks and Highways, and
Monster just beat
Monster is about to just start on Clocks and Highways.
Okay. Okay, okay. Wow, so it's like a tenth of a song. Okay, you're right, you are.
Yeah. But Atherin, they were about 8 seconds apart. Atherin, it's more like 15 because he caught up.
Gotcha.
Or, you know, got farther ahead.
In fact, I'm going to do a little tweet. All right.
So Atherin is now completing Clocks and Highways, and Monster Alert is one enemy before the mini-boss. He's on the mini-boss, so Monster's catching up a little bit again. It's 10 seconds now.
Holy shit.
So yeah, we haven't actually seen a match quite this close, maybe since the first match, Crumps versus Ryan Trussell.
Yeah.
They were...
The first match was
like about
never more than 15 seconds
apart
yeah.
at the end. And yeah, we're now 24 and a half minutes into this match, and they're 10 seconds apart.
Yeah.
We're achieving speed singularity. Of course, as I say that, it's more like 20 seconds again. Athrun is ahead a bit.
It's alright.
Keep trying.
Dun, 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 dun. Such a good singer. How do you deal with it?
We got the moves.
Do you have any sense of how this compares to yesterday's match, or 2 days ago's match that was just blisteringly fast? Do you have a sense of it yet? I don't.
Yeah, it's similarly fast. It's I can't tell at this exact moment, like if it's faster. I think it's the same speed. Don't forget, POW for damage is the fastest in the world at this game, and Athrun is also the fastest in the world at this game.
Well,
So-
it's impossible to know who's faster because they've both been hiding their best times when they practice. They've been
Right.
going offline so that the leaderboard can't see it.
But on any given day, one or the other of them posts the new record, or fails to post the new record, or chooses not to. So I can't imagine that there's too much of a discrepancy. This does feel just a tiny bit faster than what we saw the other day.
Like, for the last week, we've been at the place where I've got that constant feeling of, like, why can't everyone win? Why can't everyone just be the big
Everyone
winner?
does win. They're all winners.
Everyone's a wiener. You're either a big wiener or you go to wiener heaven.
So I'm just gonna do some research in real time. I'll get back to you. It's about the speed.
Master. Oh my god, look at this. Look at this heads up. Look at this side by side. We're both at the fudging. We're both at the fudging boss. Holy crap. What? Did you see that? Did you see what the dragon just pulled? I'm back. Oof, I'm gone.
So
Holy
at
God.
25 minutes and actually, okay, at about this time, 27, 25, POW was on the second song of Region 4. So POW would be
So they're
very, very,
about
very
a
slightly
half
ahead.
song ahead. Oh,
Yeah.
wow.
But this is the same exact pace. The pace that Athrun is currently on is the pace that POW was on the other day. And Monsler is just behind him.
Oh, yeah. Think about that. We're 28 minutes in with like a 20-second split. Wow.
So we started on Rumspringa, the second song in Region 4, at 26 minutes the other day. And Athrun is on that song now. So Athrun is 1 minute behind POW from the other two, a minute and a half behind POW from the other day. That's food for thought.
Just, why are their heads so big? Just organically had that thought because I'm a moron.
So if this were a four-way match and Cool and POW were also here doing exactly what they did the other day, POW
So, okay,
would
hold on.
be
So
about to win.
Athrun is most of a song ahead now.
Yes.
What you're looking at now is a half song split, I'm going to say. A little more than a half song split. Which is not add up to that much time.
And don't forget, Monster's on the quickest song in the game. I guess that doesn't matter, but it only has like three enemies in it. So he's catching up now. Ooh, tough break on that mini boss.
Yeah,
One
would
little
have
sliver
rather
of
died
health
there,
left.
yeah. It's all right. I am not fearing anymore for Monster's health. I think he's got it under control. I think
I'm constantly in fear of it because you can't have it that low and then not, accidents happen.
You just pooped yourself. You admitted it right here on live internet.
No, I'm saying he could poop. So Athrun is 90% of one song ahead of Monster now.
Yeah. Did you really think I had pooped myself when I was in Germany?
Only because you were so descriptive about it. So it wasn't like, hey everybody, I'm so nervous I could poop my pants. Oops, I just did. Even that, being an explicit statement, might make some people who didn't know you as well wonder. But then you followed it up with, poop so hard my pants split in half, need new pants. Then you followed it up with like, in search of pants. So it was a thing. It wasn't like some throwaway statement. You made it a whole. Like I still kind of think that happened. You're like, I'm sitting in the audience of this award show and I have pooped and I need new pants. The award show is continuing and I'm watching them, but I'm nervous that they will notice the breeze coming through the back of my pants, which are split because I pooped them. So I mean, that's why people got confused.
Why you're making me feel bad? Like you've never just gone to a public arena and just pooped.
Wait, but you're saying it didn't happen.
Oh yeah, no, I forgot. Yeah, I'm saying that.
Right.
That.
So there's a lot of misinformation regarding this pants pooping incident.
Whoa. Sweet. Clark's cure is so weak because he's underleveled.
And I'm going to quote you from 30 seconds ago.
I know, I'm not worried.
I'm not worried about Monster's health.
I can't help it. I love him so much. Accidents happen. You gotta pack an extra Metronomicon. Necronomicon.
It's a Necronomicon. I started that today, calling it the Metronomicon, but you've been saying it after me.
I'm gonna poop everyone's pants. On your own.
Athrun not quite one song ahead, but almost one full song ahead. He's flirting with being one song ahead.
Galkef, does the thong proc once per song? It can, yeah. The thong gets refreshed every song in a playlist. So in the arena playlists, in all of the cheat mode playlists, yeah.
Extra crispy.
Monster is catching up.
Did you see that thong
Ever
proc
so
right as he
slightly.
died? Monster's thong procced right as he died, I think.
Gotta proc that thong.
Because I saw that enemy gronked him and his health went slightly up instead of down.
So now they're on the same song at least. Athrun's starting the mini boss of that song. Nope. Wow, that was gross. There goes the mini boss.
You don't live on the edge like these players, so you're unfamiliar with the terminology. You prefer not to clench while going fast. I feel like if I'm not firmly puckered, I'm not going fast enough. For a kiss. For all the children out there watching. I gotta pucker up for a kiss or I don't feel right. I just keep comparing, contrasting the builds. Would I sacrifice inoculate or regen for refresh? That's a question, right? So let me ask you one more balanced question I asked before. I got the opinion of today's racers and of Dave. It seemed kind of a mixed opinion. But with regard to the Groover ability, Big Farm, what it does right now is it inspires the two people with the highest strength, and it puts Protect on the two people with the lowest defense. What would you guys think about if I changed that to, instead of inspiring those with the highest strength, inspired based on like a priority of damage dealers? So like Ralph, then Violet, then Wade, then Pierce, etc. The problem with the way it works right now is, in the parties you're looking at right now, it would inspire, for example in Monster's party, the Inspire for Big Farm would actually go to Wade and to Groover instead of to Wade and to Violet, which presumably is what the player would prefer. pros, cons. Would you guys think that change is good or not?
While you're waiting for their response, I want to remind you there's a DLC item that makes them do 2 at once.
This is
And
true.
if you have that item, I mean, you can't wait 2 turns to get Inspire on everybody. It just seems kind of
Better not to, right?
unnecessary. Like, why isn't there also a priority for Protect?
Oh, there's highest defense.
Thank you, Lyrium. Appreciate it.
A character-based priority.
Yeah,
Like if you-
arguably you'd want Gwen at the top of that queue, but so here's the pros and cons to me. Pro is making that change improves the ability, and definitely I see it underused as to what I would like to see as compared to Inspire, and I think the reason is that the targeting is not super smart. I think that people forego it instead of, like, if the builds you're looking at now, people are bringing Wade for the Inspire.
Yeah, but
if,
this is a
if Big
very...
Farm was smartly targeted, you would probably not bring Wade, you'd bring Ralph instead.
This
and
is
then-
not typical gameplay, though. This is a very specific
No, but it applies to all modes.
mode.
Like, I feel like Big Farm is often not used because it's targeting its own. Now, the flip side, the con is that, sorry, just thinking out loud. The con is that, indeed, because it would be smarter and arguably too smart, that it almost wouldn't matter that it only protects 2 people. It would be just simply superior to Inspire. You rarely, almost
that's
never,
another thing.
you basically never have 4 DPS. So the fact, if
There's a lot of enemies.
Big Farm was too smart,
Boss.
then when you compare it to Inspire, it is already inspiring the only people that matter. You know what I mean? And also protecting 2 people. So isn't it just a superior Inspire if we make that change? Isn't it just better? Like, yes, Wade's Inspire inspires everyone, but who cares if Clark is inspired, really? Unless you're doing a really nuanced, interesting build. And so I kind of feel like that does make the risk of making Big Farm just better than Inspire. And so that, I think, is a bad thing in terms of balance. See Monster do that a couple times lately.
Robot dancing.
Accidentally shifting like a moment early before he catches his last beat, and so actually
goes.
failing to cast the spell he
Whatever he does with
intends.
his arms and hips.
Was that a Purify I just saw?
I think we'll use a team attack here. Yeah.
I
Would have been well needed. Because everybody was bleeding and then everybody was bleeding. I don't think it wore off. I think he actually cast Purify. That makes me happy.
No, actually, Indie Devo, you need the item equipped with Groover to get him to buff. Is it 2-2? Yeah, you're right. You're absolutely right. He buffs 1-1. Okay. I was thinking he'd buff 2-2 by default. Okay. No, you're absolutely right. I'm wrong. So that makes a big change. Big change. You're right. And he inspires 1, not 2 by default, and it buffs to 2, not 4. Okay. That sways me harder. That change is probably worth doing. I will probably do that.
I think the team attack.
I think I will
saves
probably
you
do that.
more
Speak now or
time
forever
on
hold my
the
peace.
Songs with the most enemies. So if you can space it out there, it's better.
Okay.
Oh my god.
The only problem is I need new translation. Does anyone speak German, Italian, French, and Spanish?
Athrun is a song and a half ahead now.
It's okay if you see a patch the next day, you'll know what happened and completely understand. I secret patch all the time. I only post a Steam update for it when it's like a big new feature, but I think I patched yesterday, didn't I? Or was it the day before? And I'm going to patch today, actually. Though you won't. Well, actually, there's a small aesthetic bug that I'm fixing in today's patch, but the point of the patch today is more to roll out playtesting for that new play mode. Galkev, would there be issues with checking strength and magic for a highest of either? I had thought about that, but actually the highest strength in the game is not Violet, it's Clark. And he's probably the last person that you want to inspire. So I think if it's not strength-based, which clearly isn't ideal right now, I think playtesting, you know, has shown, I think hero priority is probably the way to go. So actually, I know what question in the chat. I know what my hero priority would be in terms of who should be priority for the Inspire. Let me know what you think. I want to see how it compares. Give me a list of 5 or 8, whatever you think should be priority characters, and tell me what you think that priority should be as first, second, third, fourth, fifth priority. Type it in chat. I want to see how that compares to my my gut.
It was good for you.
And my butt.
Oh, I'm glad it was good for you, Emily. That's all that matters.
Dear Justin, I took 2 years of French in high school. If you need some food items translated, there's a 40% chance I can do it for you. I know, let's see, I know fromage, I know pamplemousse, I know omelette, I know... We did it! That's my French. We did it. And 1/3 of that was from Cartoon Network.
Get some scotch for Mr. X. Hell yeah. You know, it's afternoon here, so you guys must be good.
We've got... Is this just under a 1-song split at the moment, Dave?
Still about a song and a half.
Wario. You guys notice, this is very subtle, but I realized just a few matches ago that the way I had my monitor laid out, I was always looking this way, away from the action. So I reshuffled my windows on my screen so that I'd actually be looking toward the action when I'm looking at the action. It's the little things that make me the professional streamer I am today. It's the little things.
At this late stage, with Athrun just about 2 songs ahead, which is a lead that he has only very recently widened,
Right.
And also with Monster's health all the way at the bottom, I feel like it's I feel like Athrun Fire is the likely winner.
It's shaping up to look that way, yeah. You know how much French I took in high school? I took, I think it was 2 months.
Into Danny's chat and tell him I don't have his
Je
chat
suis
open.
un ballet.
I'm gonna type done into my chat room. So if Dave or Danny could be in my chat.
I hear you, Athen. I don't think you can hear me,
I
but I
forgot
hear
to
you.
open his stream up and get his chat open, and that was part of it. Part of that was not to distract myself. Okay, cool.
Yeah, he's stop talking to Athrun. We're distracting him, and he's about to win.
He was talking out loud to us.
I know. I'm
Yeah.
responding to him too. I also made that mistake. I think it's wrong.
Should just type in there, booga 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 booga.
No, I think we should not tamper.
Booga 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 booga.
You're in our chat.
Saving throw.
Welcome, guys.
I
Glad
believe
you guys are here, too.
Athen Fire is on his 9th song, his 49th song.
Show
Meryl.
Danny and Dave some love, guys.
I think that's right. All right, I'm putting 5-1 odds on Monster right now. What do you think? Is that, I don't know, 5-1 means I'm at 1 to 5 odds? Is that what I want to say? Can people say that?
They made this amazing game.
I don't know. When I gamble, I just like the slot machines. I like to pull the handle, keep putting my dollars in.
Yeah. I hear Vegas has loose slots.
Team attack coming up.
Kind of want to go to Las Vegas.
I don't think I've been since I last went with you for a bachelor party.
So we're not
That
allowed
was
back.
that was a train wreck at the end.
Yeah,
We had
I
like a
think-
classic like violent people being scary out of our room moment. We weren't there for the scary
Welcome,
part, to
everybody.
be fair.
The last song.
I think there's quite a lot of that story that we can't tell, and so shouldn't.
It
We're almost done.
here are the high points. I'm gonna put it in a completely G-friendly way. Here's me doing my best. Cascade. All right. Nighttime ladies with scary friends being bullies to our friends, but we're gentlemen and weren't there for it. Is that a fair description? The quick version?
It's more than I would
Look,
prefer
now
to
he's
say.
actually Earth. And now he's like, now he's dead.
Hellkite, interesting. You would do Pierce before Violet.
Alright, we did.
And that's it. Athrun Fire
We've got
has
a
won.
winner.
Too bad, guys.
We've got a wiener.
Mute his chat, please, or mute his
Yo.
audio.
Done. What's up, Ev?
Hey!
Congratulations, man.
Oh, thank you, thank you.
That was crazy fast. What's your time? 31:49.
31:49, yeah.
Holy shit.
Yep.
Emberly's typing out hype.
Get the hypes in chat, guys.
Yeah, everyone in chat. We need more hypes. If you can,
Yeah.
you can see that success on your screen. We need some hype.
Oh, yeah.
Wow. Well done, man.
I didn't get to play all week either, and I was like freaking out that I was gonna forget like all the muscle memory.
Yeah.
But I actually did better. For not missing notes in this one than I did in the last round. So I think maybe the time off helped.
Yeah.
Like-
you gotta let the knowledge percolate.
Yeah,
Kind of
right,
spread
yeah.
throughout the system.
Yeah.
So you are in the grand finals, my friend.
Yeah, I see that.
2 men remain.
I know.
How's it feel?
Beat 'em.
Is it terrifying?
A little bit. Yeah.
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 Can I be
There's
terrified
only
on
like
your behalf?
there's only like one other thing that I can try that's gonna be faster. So.
So let me ask you. I totally get the Sarah element,
Yeah.
but I assume you didn't hear what I was theory crafting, because there's a build that I keep thinking about that I wanted to see someone try and I haven't seen it, and I'm wondering if you think I'm just wrong.
Okay.
So the build that I've been thinking is do all the groover stuff, the secondary beats, etc.
Uh-huh.
Instead of Wade, bring Ralph, and instead of Sarah, bring Clark and give Clark inoculate. So you're with the longer
Yeah.
syringe, and so
Right.
Groover is pumping out inoculates, Ralph is pumping out debuffs, so the inoculates keep proccing, and I
Right.
feel like you'd never have to cure again. So instead of the Gwen strategy that has to bash sometimes, you just don't have to
Yeah.
do that.
That would work. I tried it, and that works when you're all level 50, but it doesn't work too well when he's low level.
Boom! Holy
So
shit!
yeah.
That makes sense. That makes a lot of sense.
So yeah. So it's one of those things like, you've just got to like Pal was saying at the end of the last match, like you want to either kill the enemy in one shot or you want to kill them in two.
Yeah, that makes
It
sense.
doesn't do any good to overkill, and it doesn't do any good to do like almost kill.
Right.
So, like, you've got to find a balance, and like, just do enough damage to kill the enemy every time.
Right.
And if you can find that balance, then you know. But what throws the wrench in it is that the enemies throughout each song have a random element, and each boss has a different element. So you can't really prepare for everything with this type of party. So you have to sort of balance that out as well.
Yep.
Which is why you see like Violet with choke and Wade with clobber
Right.
really being the primary damage dealers.
Because they're never going to get resisted.
Yeah.
Guys, we have Monster with us. I just want to welcome him and congratulate him on a
Monster.
great
Monster,
match.
congratulations on
Athrun
that
has
run,
won.
man. Athrun very narrowly edged you out. You guys were never more than, at the
It was
end,
right.
maybe just shy of a minute, but usually never more than 15-20 seconds apart.
Yeah,
Yeah.
in the end of Region 5, Athrun took it by about a song and a half.
Yeah.
I started to lose focus on Region 5. I messed up a lot of combos.
I was worried you were gonna die, dude.
Yeah!
Me too.
We were talking about that the whole time.
It was so dangerous.
Oh, man.
So yeah.
Well done, both of you guys. Just reinventing new strategies with every single run. That's crazy.
Yeah.
And it looks like we know now who the two finalists of the tournament are. We've got Power for Damage and Atherin Fire. Holy shit. I know nothing. I have no expectations. I don't know. I expect sub 10 minutes.